On day one of the flooding, I was down here early in the morning and just a complete and utter devastation. But my first reaction was, is everyone safe? You know, we had reports of people being trapped, etc. So it was making sure that the residents were safe. And then second of all, my second thought, are our first responders safe? And that we need to get people evacuated so that we're not putting our first responders in jeopardy.
It was a day that I was actually supposed to be off, and I got the phone call early in the morning and just started getting dressed as fast as I could to get into the emergency management office. I knew that we were going to be putting up or spinning up our EOC, and just, quick response as fast as we could get there.
The initial reaction was to bring as many of the resources to bear that we could to assist residents that were impacted. So that included our swiftwater rescue teams, our Office of Fire Prevention Control. We had numerous state agencies out operating that morning that the flooding occurred, whether it was the Department of Environmental Conservation, State Police, and other response agencies that came out here as quickly as they could to support the residents that were impacted.
Usually, emergency managers would be the one to manage the Emergency Operations Center, the EOC, and start coordinating with the people, with the boots on the ground. We had an incident command set up immediately with my fire coordinator down there, Jeff Case, who is the incident commander. He was right at the scene, boots on the ground. And then we're trying to get the assessments and the communication from there, and we're basically strategic. They're tactical, and in the OC and the Emergency Management Office would be acting as strategic, trying to help them get the resources and the things that they need.
So the Governor's Office of Storm Recovery was created after Sandy to use a federal grant that New York State received to help residents around the state rebuild after Sandy, Irene, and Lee. So our funding and our programs are very specific. We can only help residents from Sandy, Irene, and Lee, but we do have a lot of lessons learned and technical assistance and policies and procedures for recovery programs, and so that's what we're here today to do, to provide technical assistance, especially in the early days of recovery. I think some of our key guidance that we have been able to tell residents today is best practices for hiring contractors, what to look for in a contractor, licensing, what to put in your contracts with contractors for the work that you want done, as well as just to recommend that you keep all documentation related to this disaster. Take pictures of the damage, take pictures of any work that you've already done, keep all receipts, keep all documentation of everything that you've done. So if programs do get set up and FEMA is able to come in and reimburse for things, you'll have all that documentation needed. And it's really important to have that documentation for when programs get set up.
When you go through flooding, there's certain stages to the recovery process, right? So the meeting that was held by the Lodi Town Board, it was a special meeting that they had called, and they also invited myself to come along and the Ovid Town Board members. So we had quite a few people there, state agencies as well. We had a number of residents show up, which was a good thing, and they had some great questions. We had some answers for some of those questions, and other questions, they were brand new. For instance, the village of Interlake and Mayor showed up, and it was from his comments and his feedback, we were just learning about damages and destruction that happened in his community. So that was a great meeting. It happened at the right time. We were able to capture all that information, and as a result, we have what's going on today, this open house for the public. And we have just about every single state agency here. So whether you have a question about how to test your water well, what needs to be done, and you need help with that, or you need assistance with removing debris, you need to know where the waste cans are, whatever it is, that information is available to residents today from 12 to 8, and I'm hoping that people will get out and take advantage of this great opportunity.
So the role of the Office of Emergency Management is to coordinate across state agencies. So every state agency has a role to play in the response as well as the recovery component. So we'll help coordinate with DEC, whether it's permitting issues on their end, additional remediation work that may need to occur, Department of Transportation when it comes to road clearance and things along those lines. And it's really a matter of ensuring that the right agencies are at the table and then coordinating all the work that's getting done. In addition to that, our Division of Homeland Security Emergency Services recovery section is the one who will help with damage assessments, looking at the extent of damage, whether we've met local and state thresholds, and then making any request through the governor to the federal government for any kind of FEMA declaration under the Stafford Act and whether or not FEMA is going to come in and do their assessments. So all of which is in process. So we're obviously working to clear the roads, which has been done. We're working on additional stream remediation work. We're working with homeowners right now. This is one of the efforts here to work with homeowners to try and get them the technical expertise that they need, technical assistance, and basically any questions answered that they may have on the work that needs to be done on their property to help prevent future events as well as get it back to where it was prior to the storm.
I think if you look back 2 weeks ago and you saw the devastation from the flooding and you went out today and you looked at the properties, you're definitely going to see a tremendous amount of progress. The roads are open up, the debris, the majority of the debris from the roads, the trees, etc., that's all been removed and all taken care of. The next step, again, it's just reaching out and helping residents. There are concerns about the creeks, who owns them, who should maintain them, and the state is working on that. The DEC has been out today, Director Calhoun has been out and hiked up the streams. So there's a lot of work that's ongoing. The DEC Commissioner Basil Segos today announced that the DEC has waived any and all permitting fees and that they're here on site to issue permits. So again, we really need folks from the county, the local municipalities, the residents. This is their opportunity to get out here and to get some actual real answers, get permits if they need it, get the assistance that they really need. And my job, I feel, is to facilitate that assistance. The Director of State Operations, Kathy Calhoun, is here today, and she has recommitted again that the state is here to help. The state has not pulled out, they're not pulling out. There's that rumor going around. The governor's extended the state of emergency till September 20th. So we have some time to get some work done, and again, I can't encourage people enough to let us know if you have issues or problems or questions.